Hi guys, thank you for joining me. This is going to be something slightly different today. You guys can just see on here essentially what's going on with some loosening up and warming up before we get into the main session. But I wanted to talk to you about something different, and I will tell you why at the end. I wanted to talk about how proud of every single one of you that I am. And I wanted to break that down, and at the end, it'll all make sense why it sounds so cheesy and so mushy, but there's a reason. To talk about the odds of you being here, the product of your unique genetic combination, the survival and choices of every ancestor of yours that came before you, and those chances of you being here are genuinely astronomical. So, firstly, the genetic odds. Okay, so each of your parents had potentially egg sperm combinations in the millions. So, at the outset, the odds of you watching this and watching a fat northerner on your YouTube do some weights, the odds of you being born are about 1 in 400 quadrillion, which is a 4 followed by 17 zeros. Secondly, your ancestral survival. Every one of your ancestors had to survive, if you think about it, long enough to reproduce, which included surviving any natural disasters or wars or illnesses and other types of hazard. And this alone, if you think about it, makes the odds of you being here even more mind-bogglingly slim. And then human history and evolution, going further back, every single one of your ancestors had to survive through evolutionary events over millions of years. Now you just think about the odds of every one of those genetic combinations leading up to you existing today. And I had to do a little bit of Googling around and chat GPT in the next bit, but when calculated fully, there are some estimates that suggest that the odds of you, who are now bored maybe listening to this, but hopefully watching, the odds of you existing in your exact form are around 1 in 10 to the power of 2,685,000. See, that number is so large, it is actually beyond comprehension. In other words, your existence as you is as close to impossible as it gets. And then when I read that, I thought, how close to impossible? Just by being here, you are defying cosmic level odds. And I'm going to be specific when I say that. You are defying those odds. The number 1 in 10 to the power of 2,685,000 is so staggeringly big, and I've had to put this in and Google this again. It is mathematically impossible. So, for perspective, it's vastly, vastly greater than the number of atoms in the observable universe, which scientists have estimated to be around 10 to the power of 80. So 10 to the power of 80, 80 zeros. Now, in maths, probabilities approaching these extremes, especially when they get beyond 10 to the power of 50, are often considered practically impossible, even though they are technically still possible, realistically impossible. And the odds we're talking about here, you being here, go far, far beyond even that threshold. It's like it's been estimated hitting the lottery trillions of times in a row. So it is mathematically impossible that you exist exactly as you are. And yet, here you are, now, putting it in, doing the business, and getting it done. And that, for me, is a powerful, humbling thought. So, what I want you to do is step back and realize that you're not just one in a million, but one in the impossible. And that hits deep if you think about it. Every struggle, every success, even the simple act of being here, it's all part of something unbelievably rare. And I hope that that makes you see how amazing you are through fresh eyes. So here's the takeaway: you are already beating the odds just by existing. You're doing the impossible. And if you take that to heart, it makes it easier to stand up and stand tall, to keep pushing forward, and to know, I suppose, that you are part of something much bigger than what we usually think about. And why am I telling you this? Um, some of you who watch the channel and have seen my previous videos will know that my friend John died. And yesterday, we buried him. And listening to the eulogy of his eulogy was very sobering, because he did a lot with his life. He was a master craftsman. He was very popular. But he didn't take care of business how I would have liked him to. And how I would have liked him to have taken care of business was to look after himself. You know, I've said it before. We have no problem when there's a problem. We have no issues when there's a problem with the car, taking it to a mechanic, or if your roof on your house is leaking, calling in the builders. But the most complicated piece of machinery known to man, the human body. We get sick, we get poorly. Fuck that, man up, it'll pass. Well, sometimes it doesn't pass. And it didn't pass for John. And it cost him everything. And I miss him a lot. If you want me to beg you to look after yourself, I'll fucking do it. I have no problem doing it. Go to the doctor if there's something wrong. Because as we've just discussed, the chances of you being here are impossible, but you're here. Don't fucking waste what you've got. Things might be hard for you, but why shouldn't they be hard? Why shouldn't be the things that you're working toward be worth working for? Because if they're worth it, they are. Okay. That's enough of that. So look, here we are with the second pressing session in a week. I didn't get all of the sets and reps out that I wanted. I'm a little bit depleted because of the diet. I may have gone a little bit heavy too soon on it, but anyway, I put in the work, changed the angle of the pins, working up to about 125 kilos today, and then coming down, and here we are looking at 60 kilos for reps on a flushing set, slightly wider angle with the elbows there to really get a bit of, it will hit a little bit of upper chest, it will hit a little bit of front delt, upper back, tricep. I love these flushing sets, and if you lift heavy, I would encourage everyone to do them. It's again part of the Roger Estep bench press routine, and it will be a good addition to your initial bench press, which again will be your singles. Here again, 60 kilos, another 10 reps, hands slightly closer, moving towards that 10th rep. You really do start to feel the burn, but it's excellent. It's excellent for a little bit of hypertrophy at the end of the workout, or hypertrophy depending on where you come from, doesn't matter. But what we're not doing here is complicating the workout. We're absolutely not. All we're doing is simple high incline pin presses with heavy weight with a barbell, followed by some flushing sets, because what has always worked in the past will always be keep working. So go get it. Here we are, the last set. I don't think I quite got the 10 here, but anyway, end of the video. Thank you for watching. I hope this message resonates with you, and I will catch you all next time. Look after yourselves. Stay strong.